Play it through once? Oh, okay. Uh-huh. Ready?
Thank you, Wayne and Sabrina and everyone. I haven't in the years past selected many, I'll call them Christmas carols, Christmas hymns. And it's not, we aren't a Christian fellowship, and we have kind of gone a little different direction. But as I look at our world and our society and the way things are right now, every one of us in some way or another celebrates Christmas and has our own thoughts about it. But these old Christmas carols, does anybody not like to sing them? I think they all just go back and touch us, and we feel just like, yeah. And I think right now we need every little drip and dribble of joy we can muster. Every smile, every good little warm feeling, even if it's a memory from 46 years ago. Just, we can use that. So we're going to sing quite a few Christmas carols over the coming weeks just to kind of have some warm and fuzzy in our hearts and our lives. So I'd like to talk a little bit about last Sunday, which took me quite by surprise. I finally figured out something was maybe going on when, right at the end of the service, my lead guitar player walked in. And I thought, hey, there's something going on here now. It's just uncanny that the whole band would show up, people would show up. It's just something going on. And I can't think of anything that is more humbling, empowering, affirming than to be celebrated and appreciated as I was last week. And it's like, I remember all the years that Vivian was here. I don't remember, she didn't like birthdays, she didn't like celebration stuff at all. And if I'd mentioned her birthday, she'd be very, very actually angry with me. I'd pay for it for the following week. And but um, this this family we have developed over the last that I've been part of for the last 25 years, it has evolved, transcended into something very, very special. And the affirmation and the appreciation and the love and respect shown last week was just um, amazing to me, quite affirming to me that uh, I don't know what you people actually think of me. I don't know for a fact. I don't know if you hear anything. I don't know if you appreciate, or I don't know. You all have kind things to say as you walk out the door. Sometimes, I love it, Sabrena will argue with me. And I love that because that means she actually thought about what I said. And there's 8 billion opinions about every statement made on the face of this earth. There are 8 billion opinions of that one statement. And who's going to say who's right and wrong? Just those judges. And so I just want to tell you, that was really meaningful to me. And I've been going through a really dark, tough time. Health has been a bummer this year. And this week has been way better. I'm doing some time without oxygen. I have a little more energy. My blue car got fixed. Just some great things, life-altering things. And your affirmation, your little supercharged gift of love last week, it really touched me in places I didn't know I had places. So, and I thought I had all that figured out, but I guess not. So thank you. And that's all I'm going to say about that. We have a mini message going to happen right about now.
Isn't that beautiful that we can agree to disagree? I really love the craft of poets, how they can convey feeling, emotion, images in a way that I'm not nearly at their level. And I'm rather fond of the new modern conveniences, TikTok and Instagram and all that other stuff. But I see some, because I like that kind of thing, these good stuff comes up in my feed. Here's one, and in that headache, I'd actually saved it and then couldn't find it. And in the convoluted new world, I'm looking at my bookmarks, trying to find that thing. Who did that? I know what the sentiment was. It was perfect. I wanted to share it, and then couldn't find it. And I happened to be looking for something else, and it popped up in my stuff. Thank you, Creator. So this woman's name is Maxine Meixner. The tone is from Britain, but her background says that she's United States and some African country is her heritage. A white woman, but the sentiment touched me really well. And so it took me a long time, but I had to transcribe this off of a YouTube. Click, 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 right? In order to write this down to share. And I won't do it as well as her because she's a spoken word poet, but here it goes. I'm not religious, but when I see someone running for the bus, I say a silent prayer for them. I pray to no one and everyone when I silently say, I hope you make it. And these 5 words contain all the things that I wish for this stranger. I hope you make it. I hope the stars align and you can be at the right place at the right time. And once the fight to catch the bus is won, you can rest and catch your breath instead, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. I have all these little hopes for the strangers I see, like I hope you have the most perfect cup of tea. And I hope your mornings are slow and that you learn how to let go like the autumn leaves do in bursts of bright color making way for something new. And I hope someone always holds out a hand for you when you need it, but also that you have the courage to take it, knowing that you have the strength to hold heaviness when you face it. And I hope you always have a place that feels like home, whether is it a physical place or one that you carry with you in your soul. And I hope that people are kind and life is good and that you are safe and loved as everyone should be. We all deserve this. And I'm not religious, but I've been praying more lately for the strangers I see in real life and the ones on the telly. And it can be for things as mundane as catching trains, or for the people who are fleeing things some are more hesitant to name. Because what is a prayer but a wish for all humanity? One that shoulders all of our collective hopes for the things that we see and that we fight for. Because we hope and we fight for equal rights, the end of genocide, peace on this earth, and kids to not know what hurt is. So when I say, I hope you make it, these 5 words contain not only the weight of the world, but the promise to break it and to make it and rebalance the scales, to be a drop in the ocean that swells, to make all ships rise so that we can all sail safely and actually self-actualize. So when I say, I hope you make it, I'm not only praying for you, I hope you make it because I hope we all do. So when you see someone running for the bus, or someone is facing something you would rather turn away from, I hope that you hold on to your hope and stay engaged. Your hope shines out like the sun's rays. Without it, the world only gets more gray. Without our collective hope, we can't believe in change, and change is something we need to make. So I hope you make it. I hope we all do. Thank you.
Sabrena, thank you very much. That you said a lot there, lady. Thank you. Well, it's getting that time of year when it's chilly. And so the seasons are changing. And I would like to, I don't want to proselytize at all, but our annual meeting is coming up January 25th, and we've got a lot of things to talk about and to approve as a congregation, as members. And if you would like to take part in that voting process and have voice as a voting member, I would open an invitation to just tell us you'd like to become a member. And I would encourage you to take part in that voting process. There's a lot to think about. We have a whole new set of bylaws to approve and ratify as a congregation, and officers to select, and a budget to approve. It talks about the coming year and the past year and open discussion. And so that's all I'm going to say about that. Anyone that would like to join, just holler at me. And it's pretty simple to do. The one big thing we ask as you join is that you promise to share your time, your talent, your thought, and your treasure with not only Church of the Oaks, but with our community. Your time, your thought, and your time, thought.
Time, talent, thought, and treasure.
Thank you, Sabrena. Those are the 4 areas of life that cover about a substantial majority of the different facets of life that we live. So if we're sharing all of those, we keep that flow of abundance flowing through us. And that's the whole point of being here, is to keep the flow of the divine flowing through us and expanding the dimension of the channels that flow through us. So I think that's all I need to say about that. Mr. Meyer, do we have announcements this morning?
A couple.
Maybe a more succinct way of saying all that is simply to say where your heart is, there your treasure is. And I know that it's not a plea, it's just a request to consider investing where our hearts are at things of Church of the Oaks. And this is not a this is not a top-down group. It's a bottom-up group, and it's all of your input, your voice, your opinion does have significance, and it does matter. And so there is a lot of things coming up on the 25th, and it's important, and it's important that you're part of that. Announcements, very quickly. We have had a busy weekend. Next weekend is just as busier or as it was this weekend. It just gets, this December's like that. So next Saturday, we do have a work party from 9 to 12. It is going to be just doing some things within the facilities related to the holidays. There may be some outside work, but that's a big maybe. I was just reminded, and this flyer is posted at back, but next Saturday at 3 p.m. is the winter concert, and Sabrena and Wayne are both participants in that.
I'm an ex-participant.
Ex-participant.
Yeah.
He's alumni now.
I'm emeritus.
Emeritus.
Are you going to be attending?
This I don't know. I've got to find out if my daughter is going to be able to join us.
Ah.
I think it's Sunday too.
Yeah, so anyway, thank you for mentioning me, and I miss it dearly. But they're good, so go see
All right,
them.
yes. Well, it's Saturday, December 13th at 3 p.m. And if you can make time for that, you will definitely be blessed. December 14th at board meeting, Thursday, there is one more women's book study before Christmas, and that's Thursday, December 18th. December 21st is our Christmas service. And again, I just wanted to mention again the January 25th annual meeting, budget, officers board. We have bylaws. There is just a lot of things that are going to be discussed. And so if we don't have your email address, if you haven't already gotten a call, you will, because the new bylaws are going to be sent out to you electronically. And if you'd like a copy, you can make a copy yourself. But Pat's printer wasn't going to handle hundreds and hundreds of pages. It's an expanded version of our old bylaws. So you'll want to look that over and before that meeting. So I think we will be taking the food barrel down to the food bank. They're not going to be picking it up. So that is something I'll take care of that. We'll get some help, and we'll get all that down to the food bank. But that doesn't mean that we can stop bringing food in. Please don't forget that there are a lot of people that are dealing with food insecurity in our county and across our country at this time of the year. And so please, let's not forget that. There is one more announcement that Sabrina's going to bring, only because of the details involved, and I didn't have time to write it down, so I'm going to rely on her to share that right now.
So this afternoon, I get to participate in a recital with Music to My Ears. It'll be at the Main Street Theater in Sebastopol, which is Highway 12 and Main Street, right at the four corners and center of town by the old clock tower, at 6 o'clock. Tickets are $10 in advance or $15 at the door. If you can't afford it, talk to me. I'll make sure you can get there. I get to perform my first opera piece, and I get to sing backup for a friend of mine from the chorale who's been taking private lessons to expand her capabilities. So this is a recital for the advanced students of Chris Walker's school, Music to My Ears, and we would love to have you there. It's much better than we have it on. Thank you. So 6 p.m. this evening is downtown Sebastopol.
Thank you, Wayne, and our
All of us.
Dick and Sabrena. And I'd like to say something. Sabrena, would you stand up, please? I have some news about Sabrena. Righty, her day of work is the last day of being an operating engineer she is going to do. She is retiring this Friday, and then she's going to take off to Texas and be with her family for the holidays. So,
and for the birthdays.
and birthdays.
Christmas birthdays and a New Year's Day birthday during the holidays.
You're giving up the bright lights and the night lights, huh?
Well, no. See, now I have more opportunity.
So let's give her a round of applause. And how about a wish, like she said in her poem this morning? I hope everything goes just as it needs to go for your next chapter of this wonderful life experience. There, and so it is. All right, any other announcements that we need to hear about? Okay. This is a time in our Sunday morning that we think about our community, our personal communities. And we all know people going through dark times and trials and tribulations, health issues, relationship issues, money issues, maybe some just mental issues. It's no wonder we all aren't on the psychotropics with the way this crazy society is going. So let's speak the names of people we know who could use some sunshine and love and energy right now.
Joyce,
Darcy,
Craig,
Alice,
Ron,
Jenny.
Patrick,
Leah,
Cynthia,
Nancy.
Hillary. Okay, let's take this divine light, this sense of peace and goodness, and let's just send it out into the universe and let Spirit do with it what it was made and designed to do, wherever it might be needed. May we continue to trust in Spirit to send that light to where it needs to be, to send that hope, to send that forgiveness, to send that acceptance. All of this abundance within us that we're willing to share. Let's trust in Spirit to spread it to the highest good of all that is. And so it is. Let's do another Christmas carol, shall we? And we can stand up and kind of wiggle around a little bit, kind of get the blood flowing some. Number 267 in Wings of Song, the first Noel.
Thank you.
it's time to greet each other in their traditional Church of the Oaks fashion.
Yes, I got misplaced and then I found it. Oh, no, 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 I'm just going there for the holiday. It's the holidays, but the extra business.
People here for this appreciated. Where's my Wisconsin?
Nice and warm. Oh, God, you're popsicles. Let me pour you up in the big man here.
Well, I was thinking, I started off today being grateful for all of your admiration and respect and love and stuff. And then I get down and I start reading the order of service and I find out, well, I goofed up again. Our affirmation of abundance is the same one from last month. I forgot to change it. So I'll try to work that out and do better next week. But our abundance, it comes in ways that I think that we aren't always aware of. And I'll speak about that more in my talk this morning, but just know that we are part of something that is more complex and bigger and more powerful and more beautiful than anything we can imagine. And as we continue our journey of expanding our awareness and elevating our consciousness, every time we take a wee little step forward in awareness, every time we transition some of the old habits that don't serve us, we become a little more aware of the abundance that is all around us. In the air we breathe and the things we can see, the beauty that just, does anybody not look at the redwoods and just in awe? And while you're experiencing that awe, it just, how can you feel anything else? It's just beauty. It's phenomenal the way we can realize in just a minute things that we never took the time to see before. The importance that people have in our lives that we never stopped and thought about it before. And it's just like every person in this room brings something to this family. And some of it is very evident, and some of it is no more than just the energy that combines, just the combined compassion, the combined experience of grief. I'm just going on and on here. I should kind of back down. Let's just be aware of the abundance that's all around us. Let's read together our affirmation of abundance, shall we? Gratitude is the key to the realization and manifestation of abundance. May we ponder that wisdom, sir. Thank you, Wayne. And may I say it's good to see you back again. Let's sing to put ourselves in the spirit, in the mood, in the place of meditation. Let's sing together in the stillness of the silence, number 97 in the Wings of Song.
This is a time of year where lights are in houses, on trees, in stores, candles at homes, in churches and synagogues, all bright reminders of the holiday celebration. In meditation, however, let's focus on that light within you. Take a moment to get comfortable, to become silent, and to slow your breathing. With each inhale, your inner light gets brighter and fills every aspect of you, traveling through your body, your mind, your soul, as a calm, quiet, loving energy. Take a minute to feel this as you breathe in on the exhale. Let your light surround you and others, eventually to find just the right person or situation somewhere in the world where it is needed. On the inhale, Your light grows within you and surrounds you and fills you. On the exhale, your light enfolds others as well as you. So let's begin with slow inhales and exhales. As we end this meditation, keep in mind this light is always within you, and so it is.
Thank you, Kelly. Would you read with me the first quote down on the thoughts for the coming week? There is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. That's a concept, a vision, a thought that Vivian and I shared 24 years ago as we began to work together. And that's something we've always tried to do. That's when we started calling ourselves a spiritual community. Having our wisdom of spirit allow us to do things in the physical world that had value for the good of the whole. And we have tried that in amazing ways. Some things worked very well, some things didn't. We've been trying to attach with other spiritual entities, religious organizations in town. Haven't had much success at that until yesterday. Yesterday, near Shalom, the Jewish synagogue in town, they were having an event in their facility, and they called and said, could we rent your hall for a few hours for our bar mitzvah class that's held every Saturday? We just can't do it in our space. I said, no, I'm sorry, we can't rent it to you, but we can loan it to you. We can open our doors and share what we have with you. I said, wow, that's really nice. And I said, let's call that the opening step. I would really like to meet with Rabbi Irwin. We worked together on an interfaith council started by the Friends Church several years ago. And I'm amazed by this young man. He has so much energy and he's so talented. And so we are, right after the holidays, he and I are going to sit down, and maybe we can get a couple people from our board to sit down too and talk about the possibilities and the potential of doing something worthwhile for the good of the whole of our community, Cotati, Rohnert Park. Who knows? But that's a real positive step that we've taken. And like I say, we've tried that several times in the past, and it's never worked. But maybe this time will be different. We trust in spirit to make it work and quit trying to plan and micromanage everything. We may just have a shot. Who knows? But we've done things down through the past. A wonderful community thing we've done is the pancake breakfast with over 20 years. We were always on the board. We had a presence on the board of the Chamber of Commerce for at least 18 years. We've worked with places like COTS and the Living Room and Redwood Gospel Mission and Redwood Food Bank and the Council on Aging and lots of others over time. And I think one of the most important community acts that we have done together, and it hasn't taken much, is we have fostered the 12-step groups for the last 24 years. And I think the people who have been part of that, who are part of that recovery process, will agree with me. The 12 steps are really cool. They have great value. But without the community created by these fellowships, the success rate, everybody probably 80% of them would drop out in a month, 2 months. It's that community, that important, that being together, that supporting each other, walking through the same fire together, having the same problems together, sharing the same success experiences together. And the 12-step community is no different than the chamber community. It's all about interacting physically together. We had a thing called the Crisis Wranglers that allowed us to do great things together as a community. Vivian used to tell me, it's important, Pat, always have a project, always have something to do, because that changes a thought or an intention into an activity that can have a success experience for people that we can't describe, label, or know exactly what it is, but it works. That's the power and the value of community manifesting itself inside your own self. I came across something several years ago. I've been watching it for several years, and I've talked about it over time. But I'm going to invite each of you to look online for Mobile Loaves and Fishes, MLF.org. It's clear at the bottom of your order of service, that last thing, or you can YouTube Community First Village. It's in Austin, Texas. It is the most incredible community building thing that I have seen. In 1998, a guy, and I can't remember his name right now, was a member of a church, and he said, you know, we ought to do something about our homeless problem here in Austin. We ought to try to make some food and get some food out to the people where they are. So they had an old green van, kind of like my old blue van, just an old beat up thing that one of the guys had. They got together and they made a bunch of sandwiches and got some cheap Costco kind of potato chips and snacky things. And they started going out into the homeless communities, the places where they had their little cardboard boxes set up and their blue tarps, and started feeding people. Well, since 1998, that's 27 years, they now have 20 regular food coats. We call them roach coats, things, you know, the food trucks. And they go all over Austin every day, 24 hours a day, they're on the road. And they have served over 8 million meals in 27 years. That's doing things as a community. It just keeps growing and keeps getting people that want to donate and participate and drive and put food together, because it's attractive because of the experience you get when you work together for the good of the whole. In about 2008 or 2009, the same fellow with his buddies at Mobile Loaves and Fishes thought, you know, we ought to start a place where these people can live, a community. Because that sense of community is first. And they really thought about homelessness. And they have come to the feeling, it's their opinion, that most homelessness occurs after a catastrophic loss of family. And they thought that as you give them a house or provide a place to sleep, that's just like having the 12-step steps. It has a very limited level of success. But when you put them together and create a community, oh, it's altogether different formula. So somebody donated an old camper trailer, an old travel trailer. And somebody else made it possible for Mobile Loaves and Fishes to buy 27 acres for just a few $1,000s on the northeast outskirts of Austin. So they bought these 27 acres, and then they sat down with the city council and said, we want to do something to have a community. And we want to do it without a lot of hassle from building codes and things. And how can we best accomplish this? So they planned for a couple of years. And they started with 100 spaces. They have a huge septic system. They have a water system. And they started laying out campers and RVs. And then they had another section that was all going to be tiny houses. And in these sections that have tiny houses, There are, in one section, I know there are 7 community kitchens with stove, refrigerator, big refrigerators where everybody can store food, and barbecue grills and tables. It's all covered during inclement weather. They also have 7 huge shower and bathroom facilities and laundry facilities. Well, that has expanded. Past that 27 acres, they were able to get at a deal 51 acres right across the street. And then another 70 acres 8 miles south. So they've got 3 operations going now. They aren't finished. They don't think they will ever finish. But right now, the plan is set, and it's mostly complete. They have 1,900 homes. And their provision to get in, they don't have any drug or alcohol related rules. Like there's no, you don't have to be clean and sober. But they have programs there, they have community support. But you have to have been homeless for a year. Most of the people there have been homeless for 10 years. They have a car repair place that's open to the public that residents work at, where they earn money. They have a blacksmith shop and a weld shop. They have a craft center. They have a woodworking shop. They have an art studio. They have a community garden that some people pay, a lot of people volunteer, that everybody there eats free vegetables from the garden. They have a little farmer's market that's free every week where people can go pick out the vegetables they need, whatever's growing, and they can pay that, return that kindness by working in the garden and helping hoe and rake and plant and harvest. They have a guest facilities with trailers and 20 homes and all kinds of things set up where people, it's an Airbnb where people could come and visit. And they have had huge, huge success. And the people that live there, everybody pays rent one way or another. And they take pride in their community. They spiff up their houses and their places. They help their neighbors. They learn about their neighbors. They've all been in the same place. And they're very tolerant, accepting. And they realize early on the value in community. And I invite all of you to go online and watch this story. You can't feel anything but exciting. And they have opened their files. They will sit down and help anybody rubber stamp this program anywhere in the world for free. And I think I heard they have 16 people that have come and rubber stamped this in different places in the country. And it's one of the most vivid, successful experiences of building community that I've ever seen. And it's all based on the good of the whole. It's all based on the spiritual gifts and the physical gifts received by being part of a vibrant community that does things together. And that's what I hope we can talk about at our annual meeting and be thinking about, have ideas about expanding our community. We've done things individually as Church of the Oaks, but we've also been part of other communities, expanded communities. The living room, COTS, Council on Aging, just over and over. We help participate, either in volunteering or with financially. And it brings about a change in our community. So, as we wind up this year, let's take a look around and see, we've got lots of areas in our society that aren't very much what you could call a community. They might be towns, they might be neighborhoods, but people don't know their neighbors. They don't hang out. Remember, we used to have block parties and stuff. Everybody on the block get together for a barbecue. Everybody bring a hot dog and 2 Cokes. It's just like, whoa. We could do things like that more. We've had ideas. We've done things. We had the cabaret, and that worked. It's taken a little brief thing. We've got a perfectly good bingo machine. We could do that. There's so many opportunities to build this amazing community and actually be looked upon by our community as truly a life enrichment center, because that's what it is. Working together, creating uplifting experiences for other people and ourselves by having this thing called community. Well, I've run way over time. Coffee's probably getting all burnt up next door. Cookies are getting stale. So I just thank you all for being part of this community, for showing up, for sharing your time and your talent and your thought and your treasure, not only with Church of the Oaks, but with McCarty, with Sonoma County, with the world. We need that energy, that community energy. And so it is. Let's sing about ourselves and our community, and remember we are a family of love.
Now.